Logansport 2-0. Swept a doubleheader at Twin Lakes on Saturday, winning the games 10-0 and 3-0. First pitch is inside, 1-0. Natalie Packard is Logansport's number 2 pitcher, and she's playing third base today and hitting cleanup. Good, went 2 for 5 on Saturday. Lines that one foul, and the count is 1-1. Haggerty, the freshman, not only had that 15 strikeout game in the circle, but she also had a home run on Saturday. So she's going to be a two-way force for them. But foul, and the count is 1-2. And Rochester in the outfield from left to right, it's Miller, Strasser, and Hunter. Strasser directing traffic. She wants Braylon Hunter to take a couple steps to her right as Dara takes a couple steps to her right as well. Ball 2. Harding at third, Wilson at short, Heinzman at second, and Rensberger at first, and a battery of Field and Houdeshell. 2-2. Got her swinging.
Looked like a little change up there from Houdeshell. Got a little bit out in front of that one. A nice strike out there to start things off here for the Zebras.
And we'll bring up the junior second baseman, Kellen Kripe, hitting .333 in the young season, 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs.
You know, we really saw Mia obviously come into her own her freshman year in that sectional game against Tippecanoe Valley, and had a really good freshman sophomore season. And it's going to be good to see the combination with her and Rensberger. I think it's just going to help each. There's a nice play.
Oh, nice play by Micaiah Harding.
Coming way in from her spot in third base to make that play about 5 feet in front of the home plate. So that was a very athletic play there by Harding, and got 2 outs here now for Logansport.
Well, we've seen Medina play some third base. We've seen Field play some third base, and now we see Harding. I mean, to have 3 capable third basemen, that's see that every day.
Yeah, Medina had that great play last night where she faked that throw to first and came back and threw it to Wilson and got that out on the runner that was on third base. Thought that she was going to be able to go home, and that was really a big play for the Zebras last night as they were able to hold Winnemac off the scoreboard in that inning and actually in all the innings. So really good. Was that in the 3rd or 4th inning?
It was in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
And after she got caught off base, I don't believe Winnemac never got another base runner again.
Didn't get any at all. Okay, I knew they didn't get anybody past second after that, but they didn't get anybody at all. Yeah.
Rensberger finished the game by retiring 11 batters in a row to finish out the game.
And that was right after the Zebras had put up those 3 runs in the 3rd. So, that was kind of Winnemac's, counterpunch, and they weren't able to land that punch.
Yeah.
Some big defense.
Speaking of Winnemac, they go to Lewis Cass on Friday, and I was talking with Coach Belcher after the game. Winnemac has a home doubleheader against Northfield on Saturday, and that's when they're kind of having the brand opening of the new stadium that they have. Mm-hmm. And I think there's going to be a little kind of dedication to Ron Nyes, the former coach who passed away
last year.
Yeah, last year. And of course, Ron Nyes was the Jenny Belcher's predecessor as Winnemac softball coach. And, had a big hand in building up that program. Line drive right center field. That's a base hit for Haggerty. And it's going to go all the way to the wall. Good job by Strasser to run it down, and she will hold Haggerty to a single.
Yeah, normally that probably would have been at least a double, but Strasser, she's got some wheels out there in center field, and she tracked that down in a hurry. And Haggerty thought better of trying to stretch that into a double.
It's kind of a family thing. Rylan Strasser, she's really making an impact on the track team already.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's running she's doing hurdles, and I think she's doing 4 events already. And Ryan Helt said I don't think I've ever put so much on a freshman's plate before, but She really deserves it.
I think that was a ball, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Natalie Packer, the batter. She's the junior third baseman, hitting .333 in the year. 2 hits, both for extra bases. Got a double and a triple. Ball lands right at the feet of Field. And advancing to second is Haggerty.
Good heads up there by Haggerty. Field a little trouble tracking that one down there. Kind of, you're thinking it's going to go to the fence, and actually it just stopped right at her feet.
Ball 3. Well, you've got Nicholas on deck. She's 3 for 4 in the season. So you think, well, should we just walk Packard and take our chances with Nicholas? It might not be obvious, but there is a walk there, and Packard is aboard. So first and second with 2 outs for Nicholas. Bella Nicholas, a freshman.
Nichols?
A nickel for your thoughts on how to pronounce her last name?
I'm going with Nichols.
Okay. Okay, Nichols.
She didn't turn around and give you the dirty look there, Mr. Arini, so.
Okay. Ball 1.
Again, want to thank Caleb Wilson out on the outfield camera here again for us tonight. Chris Bake running the production for us. Of course, Val doing play-by-play as usual.
Ball 2 high. David Musselman is the pitch caller from the dugout. And again, Muss was not there. I'd say a throwback to second. Say Heinzman didn't catch that cleanly.
Usually you see the runner diving into the base and not the second baseman.
Yeah. Again, Jaden Field is not afraid to throw the ball. 3-0. Base on balls. Back-to-back walks.
Yeah, this is a big spot for both teams here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. And the one thing that Rochester was able to avoid was a bunch of walks last night. So see if Mia can find some stuff here and get this 3rd out and keep the sheet clean here in the top of the 1st.
Tatiana Jones is the sophomore DP. Pitch is high. Jones is 3 for 6 on the season with an RBI. And Coach Coleman's going to call timeout and head out to the circle for a chat, as home plate has eluded Mia Hadashell. Tatiana Jones, the batter for Logansport.
Now batting number 21, Tatiana Jones.
I saw that Harrison beat McCutcheon last night, and they're in Logansport sectional. Harrison looks like they're going to be a really strong team again this year. I think it was a 10-run rule. Base hit left field for Jones. 1 run is in. Here comes a second runner trying to score, and she'll make it. A 2-out, 2-run single for Tatiana Jones. And that brings in Haggerty and Packard.
Next batter, Jocelyn Vincent.
Nichols moves up to second on the play, but again, Jones, a left-handed hitter, hitting the ball to the 5-6 hole, letting it travel a little bit, and finding a hole. And Logansport leads 2-0. Pitch is high to Jocelyn Vincent. Vincent, the senior first baseman for the Lady Berries. She is 1 for 5 on the season, but the one hit was a triple. Strike.
Of course, those Pioneer fans in the audience will recognize that name. She transferred over to Logansport from Pioneer.
Strike. I got a couple of Pioneer transfers on this Logansport team, right? Grounder right side. Oh, nice diving stop. And the throw to first is in time by
Wow.
Heinzman. Wow.
Heinzman with a great defensive play there to end the inning. Wow.
And that might be one play where maybe being left-handed might have actually helped her a little bit.
Yeah.
What a play. So for Logansport, they scored 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left. End of half an inning, Logansport 2 and Rochester 0, and you're watching RTC TV 4.
Back here at Fansler Field as we move into the bottom half of the first inning. The Berries got 2 runs on the board in the top, Val, but great defensive play there by Miley Heinzman to end the inning so that the the damage was kind of held to just those 2 runs off that hit they had with the bases loaded.
Vincent hit the ball hard.
And
And that was just a quick reaction by Miley Heinzman and making a dive to her left. And then getting up and making an accurate throw to Rensberger. Okay, it'll be Miller, Wilson, and Hunter due against Haggerty here in the bottom of the first. Outfield of Wolf, Scott, and Spradling left to right for Logansport. Packard at third, Good at short, Kripe at second, Vincent at first, Nichols behind the plate, Haggerty in the circle, and the DP is Jones, in case you're wondering. 0-1 to Aubrey Miller. Make it 1-1. Aubrey Miller, a 3-sport athlete, does soccer in the fall and swimming in the winter. But no doubt what her favorite sport is.
That one rode up right on her hands. Did it?
Aubrey plays out of a travel team, for a travel team out of Fort Wayne. She went 2 for 3 with a run scored yesterday. Line drive off the glove of Vincent, and Aubrey will reach base, and the throw's wild, but it is backed up, and that is a base hit. Of course, line drive, off the glove, infield single. Absolutely no question.
Miller singles, bringing up Wilson.
There will be a time where I'm going to go.
Aubrey Wilson, the batter. Aubrey
If I were pitching, I would have said ring like
is a 571 batter. She's 8 for 14.
Strikes, new batter.
Swing and a miss. Throw back to first, safe. Aubrey has 8 hits on the season. She's tied for the team lead in RBIs with 4. She and Hunter have 4 RBIs each. Rochester has 10 extra base hits as a team, and Aubrey has 5 of them. 3 doubles and 2 triples. Go back to first, safe. 0-2. 2 pretty dandy pitches there by Haggerty. I mean, the first pitch, a rise ball with some zip on it, and then that looked like a screwball that tied up Wilson.
Yeah, nice job there. It kind of dropped and went in on her hands.
Foul ball. Ball, throw down to second. Safe. Aubrey slides, and we were worried about her sliding, but she's okay, I think. She's wearing a brace, so makes it down there, and the count is 1-2, I believe. Let's see what Wilson wants to do here. Got her swinging. Well, I think, from Wilson's standpoint, she's probably thinking, I got to hit the ball to the right side, move the runner over. And Haggerty's thinking, well, I don't want her to hit the ball to the right side. I want to tie her up inside, make it as hard as possible for her to do that. And I think that's what she did. Braylon Hunter takes one outside. Braylon is a 167 hitter. Just 2 for 12 on the season, but as we mentioned, tied for the team lead in RBIs with 4. One and one the count.
You know, the thing I'm noticing already here early in this game, Haggerty, just a freshman, she's got a lot of movement on her pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, inside, outside, down, up. That's gonna bode well for her high school career for sure.
Bunt attempt, foul, 1 and 2 the count. And it's interesting that Nichols, the catcher, is also a freshman. So both, and Hunter goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
That looked like a little bit of a slider there going away.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about North Miami moving to the Hoosier North. That is going to bring Northwestern into the TRC next year, so they're going to join they're going to join Lewis Cass. But that left an opening in the Hoosier Conference for Logansport, and you know they're going to be changing conferences. They've been in the same conference for 100 years? Yeah.
and changing classes too.
Yeah, in basketball.
Yeah, we know they're changing in volleyball and basketball.
Yeah.
It's not official that they'll be changing in softball and baseball, but that's a good barometer, good indicator. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Boy, again, Rensberger looks like she was gearing up for the heat, but Haggerty again able to get it by her. Bria is a 167 hitter. She's 2 for 12 on the season. I was talking with Bria last night after the game, and I'm going to write more about it on the blog, but kind of how she's, when she's in the circle and how she's looking at batters' body language and kind of their behavior, and kind of how she makes adjustment off that. I mean, she is not your typical freshman. I mean, she has been in that circle a lot and has a lot of know-how. 3-2. She's just very observant. You know?
Yeah, wise beyond her years as a ninth grader.
Base on balls, good at bat for Rensberger. And there are now runners at first and third with 2 out for Jaden Field.
Really good job there, not chasing that rise on that after going 3-2. So runners at the corners here with 2 outs. See if the Zebras can put a couple runs or at least a run across the board.
Jaden is 6 for 14 on the year. That's a .429 batting average. She has, out of her 6 hits, she's got 5 singles and a double, and she's got 3 RBIs. Swing and a miss. There goes Rensberger. And the throw back to the plate, and she is out of the plate. Good play by, that was Kripe, I believe, right? Yep, Kripe, the second baseman. That was something they were prepared for. Kripe caught it and threw back to the plate, and they catch Miller trying to steal home. For Rochester, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Into 1 inning, Logansport leads Rochester 2-0, and you're watching RTC TV4.
All right, welcome back here as we move into inning number 2. Rochester was threatening, but a great play by Kripe at the home plate and able to hold the Zebras off the scoreboard there in the bottom of the first. 2-0 Logansport after 1 here at Fansler.
Well, it's official, Steve.
Is it?
Ethan Morton and Mason Gillis are going into the transfer portal.
Using their extra year?
Spradling, Scott, and Good due for Logansport here in the top of the second against Mia Howdeshell. Logansport leading 2-0. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Logansport, no runs. 1 hit and no errors. Pop-up foul ball, but it's caught by Harding. Spradling is out number 1 here in the top of the second.
So again, watch what he's doing. He's on the runner. You should have switched to 1 because the play was right here on that.
The center fielder, Adrian Scott, is the batter for Logansport. She is a sophomore. 0 for 4 in the young season, but she did have an RBI in that doubleheader against Twin Lakes the other day, and she's in the count here 1-0.
Batting number 3, Scott.
Swing and a miss. Yeah, you can kind of imagine like a section of like Logansport, Peru, and Mechanical in it. Boy, there are a lot of schools that don't want to host that. They draw big crowds, whether it's basketball or whatever, volleyball.
Yeah, that Logansport or that Kokomo Mechanical rivalry goes back into when my wife was at school in Mechanical. I mean, that was a big thing. Yeah.
And maybe Northwestern will be in a sectional with those teams. 2-1. I mean, I was at the boys basketball regional at the Berry Bowl, and I was at the boys basketball semi-state, and I mean the whole town of Peru was there. They were invaded that place, and West Lafayette was uncomfortable, and so was South Bend St. Joe to an extent, but they had Chase Knesny.
Yeah.
Walk for Scott, runner at first with 1 out for Harrison Good. Good struck out her first time. Yeah, the crowds were just, I mean, the whole, like, oh my God, they took over half the balcony at the Berry Bowl Peru fans. They were awesome. 1-0 to Good.
The top of the lineup, Lady Berries, number 5, Good.
Pitch is high. There goes the runner. And she is safe. Field did not get rid of that ball quickly. Kind of, I'll say double clutched it, but it's a little slow on the release, and that was all Scott needed. So Good. Let's see how that changes her mindset here. Pitch is inside. Ball 3.
For the red card, center field, please turn your lights off. Thank you. Thank you.
There's a ball. It's 3-0. Base on balls. Back-to-back walks, and now runners at first and second with 1 out, and now Kripe is the batter. Kripe fouled out to third her first time on a really nice play by Micaiah Harding. Pitch is in the dirt. Knocked on, but it gets away, and the runners will advance. Wild pitch. Runners at second and third with 1 out now. Rochester the only one of our RTC area softball teams in action tonight, but there are 3 RTC area baseball teams in action. Rounder to short. Throw to first by Wilson. Safe is the call. Everybody's safe. Scoring on the play is Scott. Hanging on at second is Good, and reaching first is Kripe. We're going to call that an E3. Now the umpires are talking a little bit. they say safe again. Reiterate their call.
What's he talking about down there, Jen? He's up face.
3-0 now. And Logansport with runners at first and second with one out. So Logansport scored 2 in the first after the first 2 batters of the inning were retired. And again, Hottishell got the leadoff hitter in this inning out, but Logansport scored again. And that hit Haggerty. I don't know what Field is doing. Pump faking there. It's a hit by pitch. It's a dead ball. And now the bases are loaded for Natalie Packard. Said 3 area baseball teams. 2 of them are playing each other, with Culver playing Argus tonight. And Tippecanoe Valley is at Warsaw. Valley coming off that nice win over Triton at home the other night. Pop up, shallow left field, and it drops. Throw to third. Got her. It was not the infield fly, because that was not an ordinary effort play. And so it was I think a good no call by the umpires, but a run good does score in the play. It's fielder's choice 6-5. Haggerty now at second. Packard now at first. And there are 2 outs in the inning. So fly ball to center. Strasser makes the catch, and Bella Nichols is the third out of the inning. But Logansport scores 2 runs in the inning on no hits. There are 2 walks, an error, a hit batter, and a fielder's choice. So 2 runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left. At the end of an inning and a half, it is Logansport 4 and Rochester 0, and you're watching RTC TV 4.
Welcome back here to Fansler Field as we move into the bottom of the second. And the Zebras will get another opportunity here. 2 more runs across for Logansport in the top, so it's 4-0 here after an inning and a half. Bottom of the second there, Chris.
Strike 1 to Field to open the inning. She was at hitting when Miller was thrown out trying to steal a home in the bottom of the first. So Field leads off the bottom of the second. She'll be followed by Harding and Heinzman. 0-2. Again, that's... I think the movement on that one kind of fooled Jaden a little bit. Got her swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Haggerty. They'll bring up Micaiah Harding, the freshman third baseman.
Now at the plate, Harding.
Harding, a .333 hitter. She is 2 for 6 on her young career. Quick a screwball inside.
Haggerty's a good one. Boy, already just a freshman in her 3rd game of her freshman year, and she's got a big array of pitches in her pitching bag.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you're Harding, you know, you get a screwball and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to take a little step off the plate here and let that travel and so she doesn't jam you. And then she throws that fastball right over the outside corner. 2-2, so it's the mix of pitches.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just more than one weapon. 2-2. Got her swinging. Strikeout number 4. And we'll bring up the sophomore second baseman, Miley Heinzman. Miley, a .286 hitter. She is 4 for 14 on the year. Tries to bunt her way on, foul. Isn't all the girls wearing like the real stirrups today?
I think it's terrific.
Yeah, this is old. It's old school, right?
That was the most exciting day of my summer back in the day when they handed out the stirrups. I wore those things over my jeans. I don't know why. That was just the coolest thing of summer. That I guess maybe that tells you where we were at back then too. But
It was a simpler time.
it was, yeah, a 10% of a sock. I got excited over that. Yeah.
One and two. Did you see that? Was it some player in the Detroit Tigers? Was it Riley Green? Is like his pants ripped, sliding in the home plate the other day. Got her swinging, and Haggerty strikes out the side. Rochester in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 3 stirrups. End of 2 innings. Logansport leads Rochester 4-0, and you're watching RTC TV4.
Welcome back here. Moving into the third, we got some changes here, Val.
Yeah, Braylon Hunter had a really nice pitching performance against Pioneer the other day, and here she is in the circle in the 3rd inning today. And she moves in from right field. We'll see where everybody else goes here.
Looks like
Gabby Medina's in the game at third base.
Is going to right. Is that right? Is that her number?
2. Is that Harding?
Yeah, that's Harding in right. Heinzman, yeah. So
changes to the agency who's playing third base. Gabby Medina. Harding moves to right.
So Houdeshell is out of the game completely. So we're going to put Medina in Houdeshell's spot in the batting order. Oh, and they do get her. Nice play by Rensberger. Boy, Miley Heinzman really had to truck over to first base to get there, and they just do get Tatiana Jones.
Yeah.
1 up, 1 down here.
Fast runner there on the base paths, and it took everything those two could do to get that out.
Mm-hmm. They'll bring up the first baseman, Jocelyn Vincent, who grounded out to second her first time out. That was the play where Heinzman made a great having play. Fly ball to right. Harding makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. They'll bring up Rylan Spradling, the right fielder.
Vincent plays up to right, bringing up.
I talked with Jim Coleman about Hunter as a pitcher, and he said it was kind of a fairly late. She had never really pitched before until like this summer, or even might not have even been until like the start of practice or like some of the off-season workouts. Just said, why don't you try this? You can play every other position on the diamond. She really did a nice job. She faced, I think, she had pitched 2 innings, had no runs allowed, walked only 1, allowed no hits.
That was a nice pitch there, able to get the swing and the miss.
And the other thing about the way she pitched against Pioneer is that the ball was hit in the air only once. All of the 6 outs she got, 5 of them were ground ball outs. So that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sign that you got movement. Ground ball to the pitcher, Hunter. To Rensberger, and that retires the sides. Hey, it was not the announcer jinx. It was the Val. Good call. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 2.5 innings, Logansport leads Rochester 4-0, and you're watching RTC
Back
TV.
here at Fansler Field as we move into the bottom of the third. Good outing there in the top of the third for Braylon Hunter. Comes in, gets the berries 1, 2, 3.
Gabby Medina just entered the game, and she is leading off the inning. She'll be followed by Strasser and Miller. Gabby, freshman third baseman, ahead the count now 1-0. Swing and a miss.
At the plate, 0-0. Medina.
So good adjustment there by Medina. She stared at the pitch that she swung and missed at. Haggerty tried to double up there. So 2-1 the count. Strikeout for Medina strikes out to open the bottom of the third. Sorry about that. I think we had the count wrong. So anyway, strikeout number 6, first pitch to Dara Strasser. Dara, junior center fielder, hitting .286 on the year, 2 for 7. Though we think she's 3 for 7. That I kind of went on a minor Twitter tirade last night. The pop-up that was not caught in the Pioneer game should have been ruled a base hit. You have 4 players just stand there and stare at the ball as it hits. It has to be a base hit because you can't say it's an error. Yes, it should have been caught. Of course it should have been caught. But if 4 players just stare at each other and the ball drops in the infield, it's a base hit. And, of course, the weird thing about the play is Casey Webb just picked up the ball and threw to second. Dara trying to stretch it into a double anyway.
You know,
I'm on your side, Dara.
it's just funny, though, because you're the only one I know that would dwell on that at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, 4 days after the game. I'm not saying I disagree with what you're saying, but it's just, yeah,
Okay.
mistakes happen from the bookkeepers, too.
Yeah. Well, I think Haggerty's found her groove because she struck out 5 batters in a row. And that will bring up Aubrey Miller, who singled for Rochester's only hit back in the first inning. Low. One thing about Aubrey, I think her style is kind of well suited to face a pitcher like Haggerty. Because, I mean, the pitchers that have really given Aubrey problems are those who have that extreme changeup, which I don't think we haven't seen that from Haggerty yet. She's ahead in the count here, 2-0. 4-0 Logansport here, bottom of the third. Ooh, good movement on that one. Foul ball, 2-2.
Who's keeping me honest?
Got her swinging. And again, Haggerty strikes out the side. She's retired. She struck out 6 batters in a row, and she has 8 for the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 3 innings, it's Logansport 4 and Rochester 0, and you're watching RTC TV 4.
Welcome back here as we move into inning number 4 with the Logansport Berries leading Rochester Zebras 4-0 after 3.
Scott Good and Cripe due for Logansport here in the top of the 4th against Braylon Hunter. Chopper foul.
What we got? 2-2. No, Owen. Is that the first pitch? I missed the first pitch.
I think it's 0-2. Yeah. Ball 1. Boy, TRC boys basketball next year is going to be crazy. Throw in Northwestern into what was already a pretty darn good conference. Chopper, shortstop. Wilson throws. Wild throw. That'll be an E6.
That was going to be a tough play there, that deep in the hole for Wilson. That chopper there took some juice off of that. And
Call that an E6. And for Rochester, that is their second error of the game. Runner to third, Medina to Rensberger for the out. Adrian Scott moves up to second on the play.
I really like what Medina does. I mean, she doesn't rush it. She made a look down there to second. Can I get that lead runner? Decided no, and quickly threw it over to first. With what I saw her do last night with that play and what I saw her do right there, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's part of, I think, that's maybe the difference between third base in softball and third base in baseball. When you're a softball player at third, it's like you got to make kind of quick decisions on the fly there that even a third baseman in baseball doesn't quite have to make. I mean, obviously, to play either, you got to have good reflexes. Or back to second. Boy, I don't think Scott was expecting that. She was kind of just, whoop, what happened?
Throw back to the pitcher was errant.
Oh, my goodness. That is not the first time that has happened.
The runner advances to third.
With one out, and now I think you got to play the infield in. You're already down by 4, and you're struggling to make contact against Haggerty. Ball 3 to Kripe, 3-0. Strike. Good block by Field, but that's ball 4 to Kripe. First and third with one out for the pitcher, Brooklyn Haggerty. Haggerty's 1 for 1 with a run scored. She singled in the first and was hit by a pitch in the second. Haggerty takes a ball. Field throws through, but the Kripe was not moving. So 1-0 the count to Haggerty, and still runners at first and third with one out. I think Field just assumed that Kripe was headed for second, and now that is in the dirt, and Kripe will take second. So second and third with one out. Strike.
You got that count right?
Foul ball, 2-2. How about the Tippecanoe Valley Lady Vikings won at Mishawaka last night, 3-2.
Did they?
15 strikeouts for Dalen Bussard. Coach Barger, I really enjoyed meeting him. He's, after a 20-year break from softball, he's not a newcomer though. He's played with a lot of discipline when I saw them the other night. I don't know if discipline's the right word, but yeah, they just made good decisions out there in the field. Base on balls. Haggerty on base for the third time. That's back-to-back walks. And it's now bases loaded, one out for Natalie Packard. Packard is 0 for 1. She walked and scored in the first and drove in a run on that weird force play. Oh, the ball gets away from Field, and here coming in to score is Scott. Moving up to third on the play is Kripe. Moving up to second is Haggerty. It's a pass ball. 5-0 Logansport. Packard ahead in the count 1-0. 1-1. I think punter took a little off that one. Kind of her version of a changeup. Ball 2. Ball 3.
One, 3-1.
3-1.
3-1. Oh, yeah, we gotta swing.
Ground ball left side. Wilson. Not in time.
Just leave it on 1 for now.
Scoring on the play is Kripe. Hanging on at second is Haggerty. I think we're going to call that an infield hit. I don't think. Would a perfect throw have gotten her?
No.
Infield single.
Yeah.
For Packard, RBI, and it's now 6-0. First pitch strike to Bella Nichols, the freshman catcher. She is 1 for 2. Excuse me, she is 0 for 1. She has walked and she has flown out to center. Ball.
Good call. We got 6-0.
6-0 Logansport, and they've got 2 on with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Strike. Ground ball, Rensberger steps on the bag. That's 2 outs in the inning. Haggerty and Packard both advance on that ground out. Second and third with 2 outs now for Tatiana Jones. And she had maybe the biggest hit in this game, that 2-run single in the first inning.
Mm-hmm.
She went opposite field. Ball 1 to Jones. Braylon Hunter in her second inning of relief. Pitch is high. Foul ball. Ground ball to Medina. Nice stab. Good throw. Good play. Well, Rochester got some good defense at a third base tonight.
Yep.
And that retires the side. But Logansport scores 2 in the inning on 1 hit.
All right, back here moving into the bottom of the 4th, and well, they're not wasting any time here in between innings. They're moving it right along.
If I pitched like Brooklyn Haggerty, I wouldn't want to waste any time either.
You're right.
I'd be foul ball. 0-2 to count to Wilson. She's tried to bunt her first couple times up. Again, Miller led off the game with an infield hit, and that is Rochester's only hit. Wilson fouls that one off. She caught up to a rise ball there and was able to get a piece.
Where's your balls and strikes?
0-2. Got her looking. Looks like a curve.
Clicking too much.
Strikeout number 9. And that will bring up Braylon Hunter. She struck out her first time up. She tries to bunt. Throw is in time. Nice play. That was Packard. No question about Pecker's also a pitcher, too, so no question about her arm. 2 up, 2 down. And that ends the streak of 7 consecutive strikeouts. We'll bring in Bria Rensberger, who walked her first time up. And Rochester took a gamble in the bottom of the first with Miller trying to steal home. Got thrown out, and
That's a strike. That's a strike.
off the glove of Nichols. 1-1. Ball 2. Excuse me, 3-1 is the count.
Did he put a 1 up?
Strike call. Got her. No, excuse me, strike 2. Now it's a full count, 3-2. Sorry. Got her swinging. She was behind in the count 3-1 and came back to strike out Rensberger. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 4 innings, it's Logansport 6 and Rochester 0, and you're watching RTC TV4.
Again, moving pretty quick here, going right at it. Bottom of the 4th here with the top of the 5th. Sorry, I was following what we had on the screen there.
Yep. Vincent Spradling and Scott due up. Jocelyn Vincent has grounded to second and flown out to right.
I think the weather's kind of playing havoc on our wireless system tonight, so we're going to just stick with this shot here from behind the plate the rest of the way out. And what's the situation here? We got a timeout.
It was weird. Jaden Field said something to the umpire, and the umpire pointed at Rochester's dugout. And he just ejected Jim Coleman.
Huh.
Now Rochester's players are walking off the field. Not sure what's going on here.
Are you refusing to play? Ball game.
Just declared the game over.
Hey, turn the bottom one off, guys.
That was strange. Corey Kripe and Jim Coleman are talking.
Phone call. It doesn't matter. Game's over.
So that is that.
All right, well, we'll take a commercial break here. We try and sort out what's going on here. We'll be back in just a moment from Fansler Field. Welcome back here to Fansler Field, where the final score, Logansport wins 6-0 over the Rochester Zebras. Now, I'm not going to say a whole lot about what happened because I don't understand what happened, and we'll sort that out here over the coming days. But we end the game in the top of the 5th, 1-1 count with nobody out, and that's where we're at. So the final score is going to be 6-0 for Logansport.
Yeah, we'll ask some questions here, but if that was kind of an isolated incident, or maybe they've had an issue with this umpire before, or this crew before.
Yeah.
Or if that was just one weird incident in a vacuum. But again, a coach pulling his team off the field is pretty rare. And Coach Coleman if he gets ejected, that means he's going to be suspended for the next game, whether that's tomorrow against Triton or Friday against Culver, whatever the next game is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
again,
we'll try and sort this one out and get you some more information, but not really sure.
There wasn't any explosive temper tantrums. It was just
nothing nearly as bad as what we saw on Monday night in the championship game. So
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, bitter Boiler fan.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a box score if you want.
Yeah, let's go.
Harrison Good went 0 for 2 with a run. Kellen Kripe went 0 for 2 with a run. Brooklyn Haggerty was 1 for 1 with a run scored. Natalie Packard was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run. Bella Nichols was 0 for 2. Tatiana Jones was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Jocelyn Vincent was 0 for 2. Rylan Sprouting was 0 for 2. Adrian Scott was 0 for 1 with 2 runs scored. For Logansport, 6 runs, 3 hits, and they had no errors. For Rochester, Aubrey Miller went 1 for 2. Aubrey Wilson went 0 for 2. Braylon Hunter 0 for 2. Rita Rensberger 0 for 1. Jaden Field 0 for 1. Micaiah Harding 0 for 1. Miley Heinzman 0 for 1. Mia Hadashell started in the 8th spot in the batting order, but she never batted. Gabby Medina wound up coming off the bench, and she went 0 for 1, and Dara Strasser went 0 for 1. Rochester, so again, 6 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Logansport. No runs, 1 hit, 3 errors for Rochester. Pitching lines for Logansport for Haggerty, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs. She walked 1 and struck out 10. And for Rochester, the losing pitcher was Mia Hadashell, 2 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs. Let's see here. 3 of the runs were earned, and she struck out. Hold on here. Walked 3, hit a batter, and struck out 1, and then Hunter had a nice 1-2-3 third inning, but then allowed 2 runs, walked 2, struck out 0, allowed that 1 hit, that 1 infield hit.
All right.
The final is 6-0 Logansport.
Yep. Berries get the win. The Zebras will be back in action tomorrow night at Bourbon, taking on the Triton Trojans, weather permitting. Doesn't sound like it's going to happen, but so we will be back. If the weather permits, we will be back. We'll be over at Bob Copeland for the home opener, hopefully, of the Rochester Zebras. It's hard to believe that we're just now getting that first game there at Bob Copeland Field. But they're supposed to be hosting the Pioneer Panthers if the weather cooperates. Who knows? Friday night they're supposed to be hosting Culver Academy as well. So we've got both of those games on the docket.
Will it be Braden Erickson pitching against the Zebras? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, for sure. He had 2 home runs the other night in the game. So
yeah, Pioneer lost to Delphi, but he did hit the two bombs.
Yeah. Speaking of Delphi, Val, I haven't told you this yet, but on Monday with the Rochester Zebras hosting Delphi, we're going to have a special commentator here for you, with you, Balin Height.
Great.
So he's going to be helping out with some commentary for a couple of games. He's going to be here on Monday.
A treat for our listeners to get a professional broadcaster.
Are you talking about me or you? Doesn't matter. Either one of us. But, I was very impressed with his work this year with WRSW. And, obviously Tim Kiefaber and Rita were a pair for a very, very long time there on WRSW. And but he jumped right in there. I think Rita, thinks of him as like a grandson. He did a real good job. He's already asked me for some information for coaches so he can do some research on the game before Monday. So we'll have him helping out with that. Not going to be an every game occurrence, but he's going to help out with some. I think we're going to look at maybe doing a game with Valley's going to be hosting Pioneer in softball. Mm-hmm. Possibly going to do that game as well. So we're going to wrap it up here for this one. Final score, Logansport wins 6-0 for Caleb Wilson on camera, Chris Bake on production, Val, Steve Stricker saying goodnight here from Fansler.